Good morning, little buddy. You out here getting you some clover and stuff this morning? Huh? How's things going? You just pretty tame, ain't you? Well, I tell you what, I'm gonna go turn Rudy loose and the rest of the hens and the other couple of roosters, and they'll be up here shortly, okay? All right, just letting you know. Hello, buddy. You looking for some lettuce or something this morning? Everything good with you? Where you headed to? What's up? Welcome to Deep River Farm, folks. Last night's video talked about did geoengineering have any, I guess you'd call it additional causes to the flooding in Texas or Hurricane Helene. Well, we're going to pick up off of that video. If you have not seen that one, you may want to look at that one. And also, we got one that's being shadow banned I thought I'd tell you about, and that's the one that says used and abused. You may want to check that one out. Leave a comment on them and thumbs up and share them, because they're being shadow banned because they are the truth. So let's pick up on the geoengineering one that we talked about last night, and they want to finish up this article by saying real fuel, and they're saying it's record warm seas, and that this is the cause that created the supercharge for both of the storms. And they're claiming that water vapor was pulled from unusually warm oceans. Parts of the Atlantic off of North Carolina are running 4 degrees Celsius above average, they say. Warmer water means more moisture and more fuel for extreme downpours. For every degree of Celsius of warming the atmosphere, and it can hold up to 4 to 7 percent more water vapor. And this is a relationship scientists have understood since the 1820s. Well, folks, just so you know, they are actually able to cool or heat the atmosphere in various ways using this spray. Some of them call it dumping, high altitude dumping. We'll have to use whatever criteria we can to keep this one from getting shadow banned too. And they can control the temperatures aloft by introducing certain chemicals and having certain chemical reactions. I know they can cool it very easily with propane, and they do use that. And I've seen a whole list of stuff that they use up in the air. I need to get that list out and put it out here so people know what they're spraying above them that's causing all the sicknesses and all this other stuff that's going on. But still, with all the denying from the government, all the denying from mainstream media, and all of the people that are like us are labeled as misinformation people, conspiracy theorists, and all this, there's a push for statewide bans. Still, the optics of the planes in the sky and the flooded streets on the ground have raised political alarms. One of them in North Carolina, Representative Jonathan Allman of Cabarrus County has introduced Bill 362, which would prohibit the cloud seeding and the stratospheric aerosol injection and other forms of geoengineering in North Carolina. Now, didn't we just say last night this article said that the project didn't exist in North Carolina? I'm pretty sure we did. Matter of fact, I know we did. And right here, they're putting a bill out to stop it. Why would you put a bill out to stop something they say is not going on? Here's your lie again from your scientist claiming all this stuff. Now, we're going to talk here in a minute about the warmer oceans. We'll get to that in a second. We need to put a pause on any program until we understand why 100-year storms are hitting us so often, the representative says. We really don't know all the full repercussions of the weather modification. And he added, it's time to set guardrails to protect the North Carolinians, from something that don't exist. Just remember that. At least 30 states have considered similar measures, and Tennessee enacted a ban earlier this year along with Florida. And then again, it says right here, there are no current projects in North Carolina, yet we see them daily. As the aircraft flies over, we see them trails, and they stay in the air for hours sometime. Now, if it dissipated in 15 minutes or so, like that article claimed earlier up in the upper paragraphs where we talked about last night, we wouldn't see these for 2 hours. Now, a review of the Federal Weather Modification Program reports NOAA databases and state permits shows no commercial or government cloud seeding operations in North Carolina, past or present, yet we see this daily. So here you go, you're being lied to again for you that are watching from North Carolina. Lackman worries that the legislative focuses misses the bigger culprit, the greenhouse gas warnings. Well, think about this, folks. If you're throwing out all this propane and stuff up in the air, then what's it doing to our ozone layers and things? So what's next? House Bill 362 has yet to receive a committee hearing, but Allman hopes that the national spotlight will speed up the action. Critics counter that the bill chases a problem that doesn't exist and risks stuffing legitimate research into a drought relief program. So there you go, folks. They're denying. Now, talking about the warmer oceans, I got a really good theory on that. Can they say that the temperatures are increasing? I will agree with it to a certain degree, and I'll tell you why. If you've ever been in town, the temperature is always about 5 degrees hotter in a big town than it is out in the suburbs. And that comes to fruition because there's so much roof space and so much asphalt and concrete that it collects and radiates heat. So if it does rain on those surfaces, guess what? The rain and stuff that hitting all that asphalt roofs and things is going to be hotter, and when it dumps into the streams and stuff, it's going to warm it up. You get enough of that flowing out of major cities into the oceans and things from the rainwater, sure it's going to raise the temperatures out near the beaches and things. So there you go. Depends on where they're taking their temperature samples and things from that could justify their theory that everything's warming up. So you got to take it with a grain of salt. You don't know where they're taking these temperatures at or anything like that. Well, folks, I appreciate you joining us here today on Deep River Farm. I hope everybody has a blessed evening. And folks, you also have to ask yourself, why are these environmentalists not getting involved with all of this stuff they're spraying overhead? And where are they at? And why are they not participating in discussions, asking questions? Where's the lawsuits and all that type of stuff? Because all these chemicals they're putting out up there is eating the ozone layer up, which allows higher UV rays to come in and heat up everything. So, you know, they can holler about all these greenhouse gases and all that stuff, which I'm sure has its effect. But you've also got all these other countries that are doing all this industrial pollution and things that are never held accountable for anything. Nothing's ever said to them. You got countries like China absolutely blowing the lid off of the emissions and things, and could easily be reined in with this new strategy called tariffs. They could make China pay dearly for polluting everything and take care of a lot of it. So also with countries like India and places like that are really polluting everything up. But these chemicals that they're putting overhead is doing a lot of damage too. And the big thing is these chemicals are ruining our soil, our gardens, our waterways, killing the fish, just everything. Look at your crops. Look at all the stuff you have. Look at the amount of bees that you're not seeing this time, the amount of hummingbirds that have disappeared. All of this stuff was placed by the good Lord to serve a purpose. And if those purposes are no longer being fulfilled, we've got a problem. Without pollination, folks, we got a real problem. So think about it. There may be warmer seas, but who's contributing to it? It could be dealt with. But this spraying, for one thing, is not only eating up the ozone with dumping the propane and stuff up in the air, and who knows what else that's not on any of those lists that I've seen, but it's having an effect on our fruits and vegetables and all that type stuff. And we're going to be having a information video here on our food supply coming up in the next week. Thanks for watching. So folks, just to let you know which two videos are being shadow banned, it's the one last night called "The Money Behind the Science Determines the Outcome of the Data," and the other one is called "Used and Abused" in the title. Those two are being shadow banned because they're the truth. And these technology platforms, they don't like the truth. They like to have their agenda, and that agenda that we're telling here don't fit what they want the public to know. Well, folks, I appreciate you joining us once again. We say that every time when we get ready to end a clip, but other things pop up, we add another clip on. So getting ready to head back into the house, and everything is very, look at that gray carpet. Been raining all night pretty much. Normally between Ocala Lake downriver doesn't get muddy because of that dam up there. It's muddy today, folks. We've had so much rain. It rained so hard yesterday as we were coming through Winston-Salem that the water in the road was running over the bridge down onto I-40. I ain't talking about through the conduit that they have that allows the water to run off of the ends of the bridges. I'm talking about over the middle of the bridges. You could not see the sidewalk on the bridge at all. It was that flooded from that much heavy rain. The wind was blowing so hard that it was rocking the car with this big storm that was coming through. Yet, they're worried about greenhouse gas emissions and the true problem that's facing what they say due to the CC. They still, whoever made that comment in that article, I don't remember who it was, said that they didn't want to miss the big picture. Well, the big picture is you stop the spray and you stop the problems. So House Bill 362 is on target. However, if you remember, I told you I went on the NOAA website and I went through every page looking for projects in North Carolina and was unable to find any. Yet, we see spraying almost daily. So, the guy's got the right idea from Cabarrus County, the representative there, Jonathan, I don't remember his last name now, of stopping it. What I can tell you is I see it running from north to south very frequently. And when I was at the coast on vacation, I was showing you where they was coming in from offshore, from running from east to west. And those trails were way off. Well, folks, they were way off up into North Carolina. I was only 5 miles from the state line where I was at. So they can't tell me that the stuff's not taking place. I've seen it constantly. I've presented it on the channel here numerous times. A lot of folks have sent me pictures from North Carolina of where all the spraying's taking place. Every time I've been in the mountains, I've seen it. It doesn't matter. They can say what they want to. The planes may not be originating in North Carolina, but they sure are spraying us. So I'm going to try to go back on the NOAA website again and see if I can find where the nearest state is. I know from the first one, recalling from memory, that it was all showing over the panhandle. And there was nothing, I never found anything. Of course, I wasn't looking for it along the East Coast. So I'm just going to let you folks know that. But I'm going to go back and look again and see if I can find any neighboring states that have planes or projects, notifications, whatever you want to call it, permits for the spraying. Well, folks, thanks for joining us today. I hope everybody has a blessed weekend. It's going to be a wet one, overcast with the carpet clouds again. And we had more spraying this week. So what do you expect other than more rain? Thanks for watching, folks. Have a blessed day.